My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection Fan Takeover, the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. And so here we have Randy Orton posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what he comes with. Randy Orton only gets 2 pairs of hands. We do get a pair of grip hands. We get a pair of style pose hands. We do get a microphone that does fit in either of his grip hands. And then finally we do get the Attitude Era / Ruthless Aggression Intercontinental title, which is my favorite rendition of the title. It looks so nice. I do like it. Other than that, Randy Orton doesn't come with anything else. Unfortunately, he's the only figure in this series that only gets 2 pairs of hands. All the other figures got 3. It is a little bit unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a closer look at Randy Orton. And so here we have a closer look at Randy Orton, and I think Mattel has done a really good job with this flashback version of the character. This looks just like Randy Orton did in his Legend Killer phase, so I really have to commend Mattel on this. It was a really solid face sculpt when we originally got this in the past. Now it's done even better with the photoreal, and it looks so nice. I really do like the way it came out. The hair could be a little bit better. You can see some of his hairline didn't get painted all the way, but overall still a really solid face sculpt. I really do like it. You can see they did a really good job of painting in his hair, although I think a fade would have been a little bit nicer. It's still a very solid head sculpt, so really good job here by Mattel, and you just got to give them credit where they do the good things, and this is one of those things that is done exceptionally well. Really liking the likeness on this Randy Orton. So having a look at the rest of the figure, we do have that really shredded torso that we get with most Randy Orton, well, all Randy Orton figures. I don't think they've released an Elite Randy Orton that doesn't use this torso. If they did, it was probably a shirt version, which probably doesn't exist, and it's just in my head. But yeah, to my knowledge, every Randy Orton has had this physique, so that's perfect, especially because Randy Orton is a very in-shape person. Now, we do have his tattoos right here, which do look really nice. They are accurate to the time. The Randy Orton never had, like, the skull tattoos all the time. He did start off with these more tribal tattoos, as you can see throughout his body. And I know one of them became the inspiration for his ring gear. I just don't remember which one it was. I think it was this one on his shoulder, because that kind of matches right here on his ring gear. But yeah, it's still a very solid look for Randy Orton. And then we do have the tribal tattoos in the back, and eventually he would get more going along the upper part of his neck. But having a look at this figure, it is fairly accurate to what we are supposed to see. So having a look at his trunks here, you can see he is sporting the blue, gold, and black gear. This is the one where this is the gear that he wore when he faced off against the Rock and Sock Connection at WrestleMania with Nature Boy Ric Flair and Batista by his side. So really liking the gold and the black. It really does stand out. Not my favorite colors that Randy Orton has ever worn, but this is a really nice solid color. You can see it says Orton on the back, and there's really not much that has changed from Randy Orton's ring gear from then to now. I guess you can say the style has changed a little bit, but it's always been that old English and then the tribal emblems right here. So overall, really do like that. And then we do get the muscular legs that Randy Orton is known for. Very meaty legs. You can see the definition going throughout his legs. It looks really good, especially here on his calves. And then we do have the short knee pads. I kind of would have liked to see the Stone Cold knee pads, because those are a little more accurate, but I think these also work for Randy Orton because they're interchangeable, to be quite honest. And I think the Stone Cold ones, though giving better articulation, don't look as nice as these, but again, he did wear those Stone Cold knee pads, so yeah, it's a toss-up on which one I like better. I've seen Randy Orton figures with both of them, so Final thing we have to look at are his boots, and there's really not much to look at. They're just your standard black wrestling boots. Nothing exciting, no coloration in the sole, but that's to be expected. Randy Orton isn't really a flashy looking wrestler. He's more of an in-ring competitor, where that's where his flash takes place. And if you don't believe me, just look at how he hits the RKO. That thing is a thing of beauty when he hits it perfectly. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a moment to get him compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Randy Orton posed next to an Ultimate Edition's Brock Lesnar and a basic Jeff Hardy. And so here we have the Fan Takeover Randy Orton posed next to the Decade of Domination Randy Orton and the Elite 78 Randy Orton. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to Randy Orton's articulation. He does have a ball joint in the head, so he can look up quite a bit. I really do like that. He can't really look down all that well just because of how high his head sits on his neck. We get better upwards mobility than we get downwards mobility, but he can tilt it to the side, and that works pretty good. He does turn left and right, no problem, although mine does feel a little bit stiff going past that point. But you really don't need to turn the head past that point, so it's not really an issue with me. Arms are on ball joints that go out to the side about that far. They go all the way around. We do have a bicep swivel, which works really good. We have a single hinge at the elbow, not at all hindered by anything, so I really do like that. We have a really nice bend there. Then we do have a swivel hinge here at the wrist. Really do like that combination. A ball joint would be nicer, but that still works fine. Ab crunch does go back to about right there. Goes forward only to about right there. Could be much better in all honesty. We do have a really nice waist swivel, and it's not too loose, it's not too tight, it's just right. It has the right amount of resistance. That's the kind of joint you want to see on figures. His legs do kick forward to about right there. They do kick back to about, it doesn't really kick back. Legs go out to the side only to about there. It's not the best we've seen, but we've seen far worse. We have indeed seen far worse. So he gets a thigh swivel up high, double bend here at the knee. Although the knee pad does make it a little bit tricky, he can still bend that knee. We do have boot rotation, which works fine. A hinge in the ankle going back and then forward. Pretty good. And then we do have rocker ankle. So overall, Randy Orton here has some pretty good articulation for an elite figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Fan Takeover Randy Orton pose for my final thoughts, and overall I really do like the way this figure came out. There's a lot of things that Mattel did right with this figure, and there's really hardly anything I can say that they did wrong. Maybe the knee pads could be a nitpick, I could say that, but that's honestly just a nitpick. I think this is a really well done figure. I really do love the Intercontinental title that they gave Randy Orton. The classic Attitude Era / Ruthless Aggression Era Intercontinental title is probably my favorite design for the IC belt, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection. Always welcome to get this title belt. It's my favorite title design. This Randy Orton here is a really nice figure, although I think one complaint I can say about the figure is I kind of wanted more hands. A pair of fists would have been really nice to have with this figure, seeing as how Randy Orton here was the only figure out of the wave to only get 2 hands, and that's kind of strange seeing as how they put a lot of effort into this series. I think Randy Orton here just got the short end of the stick and they just gave him the least amount of accessories, but that's by no means a way to say that this isn't a really nice figure. If you're a fan of the Legend Killer Randy Orton, or just want a really nice throwback Randy Orton in your collection, this is a really nice figure to get, and the fact that he comes with that Attitude Era / Ruthless Aggression Intercontinental title is just icing on the cake. I really do love the design of that belt so much. Randy Orton here is a really solid figure, and if you are looking for him, he is available on Amazon at the time I'm making this video. The Fan Takeover series does go in and out of pre-orders and sales every so often, so just keep checking Amazon for when they go up, and more than likely you'll find them for a really nice price. Seeing as how they are WWE Elite figures, you're only going to be paying $19.99 per figure, and it's a steal seeing as how most 6 6-inch figures are now going for at least $22 to $25. The fact that Mattel is still making these at $20, that's a really good thing, and I gotta say good job on keeping the price down, Mattel. With that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other WWE videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.